Destination Open Road tells us that it's hard to find a place to dump your tanks in Arizona. And badge, everyone needs one. He tells us what it's like to survive the winter in Canada in a travel trailer. What's up, blind viewers? How's everybody doing today? That's right. We're going to talk about Destination Open Road in Arizona. Trying to find a place to dump their tanks isn't as easy as it used to be. And Badge, that's right, he's up there in Canada. The borders were closed. He couldn't get down here, so he had to spend the winter in Canada in a travel trailer. He lets us know how he does that and some other things. And we got a lot more to talk about, so let's go ahead and let's start with Pippa from Worm's Eye View. Now, she did a really, really interesting video, and she talked about the Nuba tribe and the Nuba statue that was in her area. Very cool, very touching, pretty awesome video by good old Worm's Eye View.
I think if, like me, you knew nothing of the Nuba tribes and you knew nothing about what was going on and what they were suffering, then it would probably, at least if it's the least we can do for these people, is to learn about what they've gone through and what they're going through. I think we should just take a bit of time to Google it. I mean, there's some pretty horrific stories and pretty horrific images, but I think it's worth knowing what these people are going through. I mean, it feels a little bit out of our hands.
There you go, just a little bit. And I highly recommend going over and checking out that video. It's a very heartfelt video, very interesting. She lets us know what these statues are, about the fellow that made them, why, and everything. Very interesting. Very interesting. I found it interesting anyway. So, yeah, go over and check out Worm's Eye View. Very good video. All right. Speaking of a well-done video, I just have to talk about Desert Diva. That's right, Desert Diva. Now, she did a video, and it's about doing a YouTube channel on a budget. Very low budget, no budget, yeah. So she goes through and she talks about all kinds of things, and she gives you tips on all sorts of things. But yeah, very well done, well thought out video, so I thought I'd share it with you guys.
Lighting is important when shooting video. And your best friend is free light from an open window. Sometimes, though, you don't have that option if you're shooting at nighttime or later in the day. So
I wanted to take a moment here to just point out a few things. Now, she's talking about lighting, but she talks about all kinds of things. Microphones, cameras, even down to editing software and everything else. But if you look and you just take notice to her setting here, she has the window in the back with the natural light. Over there, you see that she has the over there it is, I guess. But she has a light over the flowers, and everything is just, it's well lit. The background, it's and little vignettes of area where the light hits that kind of draws your eye if you're not looking directly at her. But it's very well shot, very well done, very well thought out. So I wanted to share that part with you guys and let you know, go over and check out the video if you are thinking about starting a channel, or you just started out and you need some tips on how to do things on the down low, on the cheap. That's right, not real expensive. I think it was a very interesting, well done video. So go over and check her out. Desert Diva. All right, let's go on to Static Camper Van. Now, he is chilling in the van. He's not out hiking. He's not out doing a whole lot. He's having a lazy day. And don't we all need or deserve a lazy day once in a while? I think we do. We all need a good lazy day.
I should go out while these are cooling. I should go out and walk down near the beach.
Looks like a nice place to spend a lazy day to me, right? Oh yeah, very, very nice. Another well done video by Static Camper Van. Really nice, really nicely shot. I enjoy his videos, I really do. Pretty cool stuff. Alrighty, let's go on to, let's see, who are we going to talk about now? How about enjoy the journey.life? That's right, enjoy the journey.life. Now, they are down in Algodones, Mexico, getting some dental work done. Yeah, I know. I thought the same thing when I saw it. We've seen this a million times with different people, but yeah, we all know that it's really cheap down there and it's the way to go down. But it's kind of interesting because now, in the madness that we are in, that's right, in the crazy COVID times, crossing the border, going into Mexico. What is it like now? Are things different? Has it changed? Is there big lines? Are the doctors still open? Do they have a lot of patients? All that good stuff. So yeah, enjoy the journey life. If you go over there and check out their latest video, they tell you all about it. Pretty good to see what it's like now.
Yeah,
Very good. How about you?
excellent. Working hard.
That's good. So how has the pandemic affected business?
In the beginning, so much. Right now, it's affecting too, but we are working with about 30% of the patients.
Okay.
In one regular day, in this month, usually we see about 30 to 40 patients a day. Now we are looking just 12 because after any patient we need to clean, disinfect, wait. It's not possible seeing our patient immediately in the same room. It's very important to don't have so much patients in the lobby still waiting. Really good. And the Canadian patients, they can cross the border now. They are waiting for border open.
Yeah.
So there you go. Even down there in Mexico, you might think, oh, well, it's Mexico. But no, they are taking precautions and cleaning and sanitizing, and they are doing their part as well, just in case you weren't sure and, you didn't know what the deal was. So, yeah. Again, yeah, I know. We've seen lots of videos about people talking about going down there in Mexico to get their tooths done and get their medications and stuff. And yeah, it's just one more. But yeah, I thought it was interesting to see what it was like now during this crazy, crazy time. All right, let's move along to, how about Badge? Yeah, we'll talk about my buddy Badge. Now, as we all know, he's usually down here in the wintertime. He's usually hanging out in Arizona and the warm places, hanging out with everybody here in the States. But this year, wasn't happening. Border closed. He's stuck up there in Canada. And yes, him and Elle, full time in their camper. So their little travel trailer, that's what they spent their winter in up there in Canada. And he lets you know that, yeah, these things are not built for 4 seasons. They are not built for the Canadian winter. They are not built for all that. But he lets you know just how he got through it. And was it different than being down here as far as the money goes?
And that, but you gotta have heat. It's a major thing. You have to have heat. So On that note, we the propane was quite expensive, but you got to remember it cost us like $3,500, $4,000 to drive to the south, so it sort of waves out. Did it cost us any more to stay here? I don't think so. It probably, in the long run, it probably would have been easier to drive to the States. It would have been a little cheaper.
Yeah, he says it'd been a little bit cheaper maybe, but yeah, he goes ahead and tells that, you know, he's had to spend a couple grand in propane because he basically bought a bunch of tarps and tented the RV and had to do things to make sure that the water line didn't freeze, so they had water, and he tented everything and put propane heaters and stuff underneath the RV inside the tent and inside the RV. So everything was, you know, trying to keep everything warm in, you know, sub-zero weather up there. So he did spend a whole lot of money on propane, but he said, well, they didn't drive anywhere. And like he just said, you know, it was a couple grand, you know, almost $4,000 just in fuel to drive down to the States, drive around, and then drive back home. And up there in Canada, you know, they have their healthcare system up there. So when he's in the States, him and Elle, they have to buy health insurance. So if anything happens to him, they have some kind of coverage, so it's not all out of pocket. And you can hear Line Screw. He talks about that stuff all the time, that when he travels, not just to the States, but anywhere, you know, if you don't have traveler's insurance, you're kind of dumb. It's not that expensive, and it's a lot cheaper than if something were to happen to you and you need to go to the hospital or a doctor and have to pay out of pocket. So, yeah, Bench tells you all about that, how the expense of staying there and, you know, everything. But it isn't as much the expense as all the work that had to be done constantly to make sure you didn't freeze to death in the middle of the night. Very well done video. Good advice. Good talking points by our buddy Badge. That's for sure. All right, now let's talk about Carolyn. That's right, camper van Carolyn. She was away. We talked about that. She went and visited her family, her brothers and her parents, and she was gone because she took a plane, and Parker was at home. So when she got home, that's right, Parker was waiting, and he did miss his mama. Or, in past years, if you watched, there's a certain puppet guy here on YouTube that made it quite clear that I was Parker. He had the little puppets, my puppet and Carolyn's puppet, and yes, he called me Parker, and I would jump around and sit on her lap and do all kinds of stuff. So, if you take it now, Parker, the dog, missed Carolyn. But if we go to good old vlogger puppet days, yeah, I guess we could say that I missed Carolyn.
Hi! Hi, honey! Hi, baby! Hi! Oh my goodness, Mama missed you! No, I haven't been around any other dogs. No dogs.
So there you have it. Carolyn's home. Parker's excited. His mommy is back. There you go. Oh, yeah. Now, we just talked about Line Screw, Mr. Line Screw 1. Yeah, he's talking about taxes. YouTube and taxes. Yeah, I kind of talked about this the other day, too, that I heard something about YouTube and taxes, and they were taking taxes out, and I wasn't sure what was going on. I just heard little bits and pieces, and I didn't go dive into it yet. But apparently, and I talked to Pippa, Worm's Eye View, she said something about it, too, that they were taking X amount out for her U.S. patrons or watchers or viewers or what, subscribers or whatever, anybody who watched her that was from the U.S. And Line Screw talks about the same stuff since he is a Canadian. What YouTube is up to now.
But the penalty that they're trying to levy if you don't fill out the appropriate paperwork is 24% of your global income. Okay, so be it. I think Sleepy Joe needs that money. I don't know what Sleepy Joe's going to spend that money on. Probably something stupid. But as far as I'm concerned, I want to keep Uncle Sam out of my life as much as possible. I have that luck.
That's right. Yeah, Sleepy Joe. Well, let me tell you something there, Mr. Line Screw, and everybody else that's not in the United States that's making YouTube videos. You got to pay your taxes. We need that money. There's an influx of immigrants coming in, and there was some that were standing in line to come in to fill out paperwork and get into the country the right way. But these couple thousand or hundreds of thousands or however many are rushing the border now, they're circumventing that legal way and the proper way, and they're just coming in. So we have all these people to feed and house and, probably give jobs and everything else too, and and money. So you guys need to pay that taxes so we get that money to take the burden of all these illegal immigrants that we have to take care of for the rest of our lives. And it'll probably come into the inner cities and take everybody's jobs. So, yeah, you guys got to help us out a little bit, whether you want to or not. But good stuff. And Line Screw, he has his opinions, and he's a funny dude, so go over and check him out. Pretty cool video. Sleepy Joe. Yeah, man. Good old Sleepy Joe. All right. Now we have Destination Open Road. That's right. Scott and Terry, they are in Arizona as usual. Yeah, it's that time of year. But they're cruising around. They were showing, when you're here, this is where you go to get water, and this is where you can go get that. But they started mentioning that. Yeah. It's getting harder to find places to dump your tanks. So maybe, just maybe, that's why these full-timers are sitting out there in the desert, and they're like, well, even if we drive into the city or into town or into wherever where we usually go, they're not open. They're not accepting people, or I just don't want to pay for it. So they're pulling that lever and they're dumping in the middle of the desert, and that's why people are getting pissed off. But yeah, so they even said that, yes, it's getting a little rough, or not a little rough, but it's harder to find places to dump your tanks.
And do your dumping. So one of the reasons that we mentioned the dump today, we don't do a whole lot about mentioning that all the time. It's getting harder and harder to dump your black and gray tanks in these areas. So from Quartzsite to Havasu. Quartzsite is probably the best place to find places to dump your tanks. Of course, you have to pay. They've got the pit stop, and then they've got a couple RV places that will allow you to also pay and dump. But then when you get to Parker, which is a route that a lot of us take from Quartzsite to Parker to Havasu, Parker no longer has an area where you can dump at the state parks there unless you are a paying camper.
So there you go. So, and I'm sure that it's probably due to the COVID situation that we are in. It would be my guess, because I'm sure these places didn't just go away. And as she said, there are places that used to let you go in and, give them a couple bucks and you could dump, but now you have to be staying there and you have to prove that you're staying there and this and that and that and the other place. Yes. So I'm sure it's due to the current situation, and it probably will get better later. But in the meantime, I would fathom a guess that, that has something to do with, people taking advantage and just going, if we can't, I'm not going to worry about it. It's a big desert, and no one's going to see me if I yank this lever and dump out here in the desert. It's going to go away. And that's why some of these places, like I discussed, near Nevada somewhere, they're closing down BLM land because of the dumping and the human waste and the abandoned vehicles and the trash and the overstaying the 14 days and everything else. So, yeah. And it's, it's sad, but I know it's not everybody. I didn't say it was everybody, but it's happening. And if it wasn't happening, it wouldn't be reports and reports and reports of them closing it and due to this and pictures and everything else. So it's happening, whether you want to believe it or agree with it or acknowledge it or anything else. It's happening. There's just lots and lots of stories about it that you can go see and read for yourself. You don't have to believe me. Just type it in. You can even watch some videos on here on YouTube of other folks talking about it. And again, if you don't want to watch the videos, go ahead, go read the articles. And it tells you all about it. Yeah, you can do a little research for yourself if you want to. Yeah, you actually can. It's not that hard. It's kind of easy, really. Just type that shit in and start reading. Good stuff anyway. But yeah, Destination Open Road. That's not all I talked about. It was a nice little video. You can go over there and check them out. Okay, let's talk about, wrap this one up with the Ginger Ninja. That's right. Any chance I get to talk about Casey Roman, I'm going to do it. She's awesome. All right. So, as we know, not too long ago, we even talked about here. That's right. We here on us. Our sources told us that we are talking about. No, I'm just kidding. I talked about her selling her war wagon and all that, and it got over there, and there was a little girl and 6 years old, and sent $1 over to Casey to help with the travel fund, and Casey sent the piggy bank and all that stuff. Well, I think Casey has a new pen pal. That's right. The little girl sent a drawing to Casey, and of course Casey thought that was awesome, and she shares it with us. She also talks about some other stuff, but yeah, let's check it out a little bit.
She got it. Yeah, she even put the chalks in there. That's my girl. Okay, Mommy's truck. Hell yeah. Now I knew I sold this to the right family. It's Mommy's truck. It's Mommy's truck.
Mommy's.
I just hope that Mommy doesn't drive a Ford, that's all. Or a Toyota. Mommy's truck. And Daddy and John are asleep inside. So typical, right? Mommy's doing all the work, driving this thing. Daddy and John are asleep inside. So that makes sense. So she's got a brother, and that's their dead dog. Are you following this story? This girl is a born storyteller. This is my soul sister. Okay?
That's her soul sister. That's right. A good storyteller, just like Casey. It's pretty cool though. Yeah, she talks about some real estate stuff in the beginning, but it's Casey, so it's funny. And she's all dressed for work, so she's all pertified. She got her hair did and everything. She looks pretty good. And but it's a typical Casey video in typical Casey fashion. But yeah, it was kind of cool, and she shared the little girl's drawing and pictures and everything. And the little kid did well, man. Layered all up and everything. But yeah, Mommy's truck pulling the RV, and the girls are out there doing it while the boys are inside sleeping. All righty, Roo. There you go, folks. All right. That's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed this little wrap up. And yeah. So apparently, when the borders are closed and you live in a travel trailer and you're stuck in Canada, if you want to survive the winter, you better watch Badge's video, because he did it. Him and Elle, they're still alive, waiting on spring thaw, and they made it. So yeah, check them out. And according to Destination Open Road, It's getting hard to find places to dump your tanks in Arizona. You don't have to believe me. You don't even have to agree with me. You don't even have to watch what I watch. That's not the point of all this here. The point is, this is Blind Views, and that's the way I see it.
What we do here is go back.